All right, what's up, guys? It is Sunday, November 16th, 2025, MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin. Big Marcel over there. We're here to recap UFC 322, and then we'll do the UFC Qatar preview. Marcel, I'm looking forward to talking about both the card from last night and also next week's card as well. But last week's card was awesome, so a lot to talk about with that. But I'll once I get the tweet up, I'll start into that. But let's start with how are you, man? How was your weekend? Obviously the card, but what else is going on with you, brother?
Yeah, what's all good, man. Not much to complain, not much to add. We watched the fights, and I think it was an overall pretty good card. Kind of maybe kind of ended how do you say that? A little bit boring because the last two fights were so one-sided, and there was a lot of hype for those two fights, and those were actually very one-sided. But I think overall it was a pretty decent card. I would say a good card. Yeah. Not much to add. How about you, man? How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I just tweeted it out, Marcel. So I know you probably already put it in the chat, and you've tweeted
Yes,
it,
I did.
and you've shaken hands with the president all within the same time because I'm slow as fuck. But no, doing good. I thought the card was great. So, love the card. I've been sick. I told you before we went on. I've been like sick all week. My daughter was sick too, so she was home from school, and then I was home. I had to take a couple of days off sick because dude, I've been coughing like a storm up. So I've been feeling better though a little bit today, which was good. But hopefully this week will be a lot better. But yeah, it sucks when you're like, watching the fights, but also like you have like you said, a handkerchief beside you, sneezing it out and stuff. So, but if you guys hear my voice like go at some point, that's just because like it's been a rough week. But again, can't wait to talk about this card with you, dude. It was an awesome card. I thought, I think it lived up to the hype. Would you agree with that? Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I mean the only thing that you can say is that the two title fights were so one-sided.
Yeah, I agree.
But man, we were in the fourth fight, less than 90 minutes in, and the main card. We were on the fourth fight, so
I saw you. You're like, hey, and then you know what? I think the UFC knew that, and they're like, oh shit, these fights are going too fast. We have to get all our advertisements in.
Yeah.
So like, they started doing all these interviews and like all this other bullshit, and then like all of a sudden that fucking fight dragged on so long, dude. The Shevchenko and Zhang. That fight felt like it took an hour long. Honestly, the fight. We'll talk about the fight obviously in a second here, but like it just felt like it. I kind of agree with what you're saying. Like it was a good card. I mean, there was a few slower fights, but a lot of good finishes.
Yeah.
I do feel like the high point was probably like the Morales, I would say probably, and the Protez, right? Or BSD too. Actually, the 4 knockouts in a row because you had Nickel too, right? Yeah. Like that was the high point, and then it kind of, unfortunately went down after that just because. It wasn't like the fights were like horrible, but they were one-sided. They weren't competitive fights, and it's not the UFC's fault. I mean, on paper, Marcel, it looks competitive, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But it wasn't. So, anyways, lots to talk about, guys. We'll get to some comments here. Let me get some comments from the folks in the chat. What's up, brother? Glad to have you here, man. How's it going, man? Yeah, dude, we're going to talk about this in a minute here. I am looking forward to talking about this Ghost because there's so many options, which is awesome. Dude, Marcel, welterweight all of a sudden is like the best division in MMA. It's crazy, right? It's awesome.
It might be the best division with the most contenders, but it might be a super dominant champ. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's very because he looked pretty dominant last night. I'll say that. Tristan, what's up, man? Glad to have you here, brother. Joe, what's up, brother? Eagles playing tonight, man, against Detroit. Good luck to you guys, man. I feel like that game's tough, Joe, honestly. Like, it's two really good teams. But, Eagles probably win. They're the favorite. Last night was the Sphere. I thought the same thing. And it had a Shevchenko fight, too, on it, which is funny. And I felt like the same. And then you had a wrestling-based champion at the end, This card actually had more finishes than the Sphere card. I think the Sphere card didn't really live up to the hype. This card, I think, did. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Sphere card was okay, but it wasn't amazing, What's up, Sign Collectibles? Good day of football, man. Lots of upsets as well. Lots of comebacks. Yeah, exactly, man. This is what you don't have to worry about, Marcel, because you don't have any kids. Well, at least we don't know about any little Marcels running or big Marcels running around, I should say.
No, but yeah.
Knowing you, Marcel, you might be, upping the population there in Netherlands. I never put it behind you, man.
But yeah, obviously, man, when you have kids like you are quicker, that makes sense, of course. Yeah.
It's so true. What's up, Craig? Glad to have you here, brother. Always appreciate you joining us, Craig. You're one of my boys, one of my good friends. Antoine, what's up? Antoine just messaged me on Twitter. I'm like, dude, we're gonna do the chat. Just ask me a question in there. He's like asking me these questions. I love Antoine because he's always like asking me questions about life and like journalism and stuff. Like he's a good dude, so he's always asking me questions. So I'm like, just ask me on
I,
stream.
he never does that to me, so that says a lot how high he is on you and how low he is on me. So yeah,
Oh, stop it!
just kidding.
Valentina and Weili didn't zap the energy. The knockouts from the knockouts out of the building. Jack would have been able to steamroll Islam. Who knows? Who knows? Bullet's good. Yeah, yeah. Hit the like button. Dilla's dance is gonna come in here and kick your asses. Weekend was good overall. I mean, like I said, I'm recovering from this illness, but should be good to go. 0-5 in the main card. Hey, it happens. You know, it happens. I've been 0-5 before too. I went 4-5. Marcel went 3-5, I think.
Never happens.
0-5. It's
Just
happened.
kidding.
I think
Just kidding. It happens to me as well.
probably
of course.
happened. I mean, it's like, yeah. I mean, it's happened. Hell yeah, Bird Gang. Let's go, guys. True, what's up, man? Glad to have you here. I appreciate you guys joining us tonight. You know, everyone's here in the chat, man. It's awesome. And Justin as well. What's up, Justin? All right, let's get into the card. Let's work our way down from the top.
Mhm.
Start with the main event. Islam Makhachev defeats Jack Della Maddalena via steamrolling. Marcel, this fight was never close. I mean, Jack, dude, he actually got outstruck on the feet too. Like, and then obviously Islam dominated the fight in the ground, completely dominated the fight in the ground. But he got outstruck. Like the low kicks, those calf kicks were so nasty. Jack couldn't stand. Jack kept getting taken down. To be honest with you, those takedowns, man, were so easy. You know, like he didn't have to like really fight for them. He just got them. There's not much to say about this. It was just an incredible performance. I mean, it was so dominant. Like really from bell to bell. Jack was crying at the end. I felt bad for him. I feel like he kind of got screwed, dude, with his whole title reign. Like he has to, you know, he fights Bilal on short notice, goes to Montreal, right? Filling in for Shavkat. And then he, on his first defense, has to fight Islam, one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world, maybe the best in the world. Like, I'm not going to lie, dude. I do think Islam's the best pound for pound. Dude, I'm starting to think he might be the best fighter of all time. I mean, he's up there. He's up there.
About you saying getting screwed, I don't know, man. You know, because on the end of it, actually, he shouldn't have gotten a title shot in
That's
the first
true,
place.
for
You know,
sure.
so.
But you know what I mean? Like he had the worst stylistic matchup against Islam.
Yeah,
Would you
of course,
agree?
but who wouldn't have a worse stylistic matchup against Islam? You know,
Well, we're gonna find out for this next fight, I would think, right?
If you saw how easily Islam got the takedowns, and you saw how much Bilal struggled with the takedowns, you know, look at the crazy difference. And Jack, I mean, after the first round, yeah, I was like, okay. And then the second round, listen, I'm not a technical breakdowner or whatever, but then he went for a hip throw and tried to get Islam's back. I was like, dude, you have to keep this fight standing. You have no chance on the ground, you know, pretty much. And after the third round, he was broken. He was literally broken. You could see it in his corner. You know, the funny thing was, like, I said to you guys in the Discord, Jack is broken. And then I got a voice clip from Gilbert Eiffel who tells me Jack is broken. So I was like, okay, I probably saw it as well. But and he was almost crying, man, in his corner between the 4th and 5th round and at the end. So, and I think he just completely thought different about this fight, that he would have been able to be competitive with Islam, but he was totally not competitive, you know. And I think that was the painful fact for Jack in this fight, you know. And I think Jack is a great fighter, don't get me wrong, but he was just completely overclassed by Islam, man.
Yep. I completely agree. By the way, Birch is in the chat as well.
Oh, what's up,
Birch? I mean, it was pretty similar to Hamzat versus DDP too. Would you say?
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
And even like Sean and Marab, I would say somewhat. Although, to be honest, that first fight between Sean and Marab was somewhat competitive.
Yeah.
You know? This fight was just not competitive, dude. Like there was never, like, I think there was like maybe one exchange where Jack landed a few punches, like maybe in the second. I can't remember at this point.
His best shot was the illegal kick at the end of the first round.
And was it Herb Dean? He just like, don't do that again.
Yeah,
he's like, just don't do that again.
Mhm.
And they even, by the way, I was watching this card, the fingers. So many guys had their fingers on, and they never took a point. By the way,
I told you, and you have UFC gloves on before, you know.
Yeah, I know. I have them.
They have to change this part in between this. They have to.
Yeah, GSP talked about that this week.
Yeah.
Helen Yee interviewed him. I don't know if you saw that. She's like, "What should we do?" And he's like, "You should use the Pride gloves with the curve."
Yeah,
back in the just an option. Anyways, it was an incredible performance. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say like about the performance. It was incredible. But the question is, what's next? I mean, that's what everyone wants to know. There's so many options, which is great. It's great.
In my opinion, there are only a couple of legit options, you know, and I will tell them what I think.
Sure.
Listen, everybody forgot about Shevchenko, but I think he needs one
Yep.
more fight before he gets to the
I think
title
he would
shot.
want. I actually think he'd want one more fight because he's been
Yeah,
off for so long.
but that's okay, you know.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
we have probably Ian Gary next week, who's fighting Bilal. If Ian wins, he beats the number one contender and the former champion. On this
yep,
card, we have Michael Morales, who beat the number two contender, who actually should have gotten a title shot maybe already, you know. So a
yep,
good win for him. Carlos Pradas is in the back of the line for me, you know. Great win, but he's
yep.
behind those guys in my opinion. And also people bringing up Usman. Usman is also behind that in my opinion.
I
But
agree, but again, it's the manager, right? Because Ali
I know,
Abdelaziz is the manager of
I
both
know.
the guys, and he was last night was like, Islam wants to fight Usman. He probably told Islam, "Well, tell him you want to fight Usman. Like, let me make my 20%." You know what
It's
I
just
mean?
listen.
It
I
is.
understand that Ali does that. You know,
Yeah,
I fully understand it from a management perspective. But
sure.
the UFC shouldn't go along
Yeah,
with that, in my
I
opinion.
agree. Here's the thing. Here's what I would say. I'd be okay with Usman getting the shot if there was no one else, but there's like five other
Exactly.
guys. That's the problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
So here's my plan. You tell me what you think, okay?
Mm.
So Usman, Shavkat says he's coming back in the new year, right?
Yeah.
You do Usman Shavkat. I like that
Yeah.
fight. You like
Me
that?
too. Yeah.
Then you do if Gary wins next week, I think you give him the shot, and then you do Morales versus Prates.
Yeah, it's possible. You know, although I would prefer to see Morales getting the shot, but I think
I
if
don't
Gary,
mind it. I'm
if,
fine with Morales getting the shot,
but
but I feel
if
like Gary's
Gary,
going to get it.
if Gary wins, he got wins over Pratas and he got
Yeah,
a win over Bilal, so then he deserves it probably. Yeah.
I'm good with Morales getting. You know how much I like the guy, and I called him
Yeah.
to win. Right? I think he's really
Yeah.
good. But anyways, it's a good problem to have. There's so many guys, um, but I don't. I know
Uh,
True saying Usman.
by
It's
the
a
way,
good fight, but no,
I,
not
I,
yet.
I don't know if JL is watching, but I absolutely think Gary doesn't deserve the shot, man.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't know
So
if you
Gary's actually 9-1 in the UFC. He'd be 10-1 if he beats Bilal. If he beats
yeah.
Bilal, it's. By the way, for Jack, what do you think's next? Like, what were you thinking?
Basically, he can fight guys.
Anyone really?
Yeah, exactly. So I was even thinking about Buckley, but maybe that's a little bit too. I think Buckley is
Maybe
more.
Brady.
Yeah, I think maybe Buckley versus Leon makes more sense.
Sure,
And
that's a
uh,
good fight. Or even,
yeah,
you know what? Masvidal. Masvidal's back now. Apparently,
yeah, yeah. I'm
I
not
wouldn't be
interested.
surprised if they did that fight. Would you be surprised if they did Masvidal
No,
and Leon?
no, absolutely not to be surprised. Maybe they can make that a headliner for the fight night in London or something. You know.
I don't think Leon's completely washed. I do think he fought an amazing knockout artist. So, anyways, I think any of those fights are fine. I'm excited for the division, dude. I think I've said for the longest time lightweight's the best and bantamweight,
Mhm.
but for years it was welterweight, and now I think welterweight's slowly coming back to the
Bro, it's been
forefront.
fucking time finally. Some guys are
Yeah,
breaking through in welterweight. You know.
yeah, and a lot of the guys in the chat are saying Jack and Protez. I'm fine with that too. I'd be
Yeah.
fine with that. All these fights make sense to me, you know. Um, all right, let's go to the co-main event. I don't really want to talk about this fight too much. This fight, I felt this fight was so boring, dude. Honestly, like, listen, Valentina did what she had to do. It was smart, but my problem with her performance is like she never went for any submissions. She never went for any ground and pound. She was fine with just holding the fight on the ground, and she
Uh,
won the fight. Dana didn't sound happy with it, or really, quite frankly, the main event either.
bro,
What
I mean, what was Zhang thinking, man? I mean, she tried to bum rush her in the first minute or the first round.
terrible
Then she got
performance.
hit by with the knee in the stomach, went down,
Yes,
you know, and Valentina controlled her. And then in the third and fourth round, I think she landed tried to fucking high kick her. Valentina caught the kick, went to her to the ground, and the round was over already again. So I was like, what is she doing, man? I
yep,
mean, she
yep.
she was completely out muscled by Valentina already, but also like with the striking, it wasn't great. You know, it really felt like, and I said it, I think last week, with women, I always feel like it's a bigger step to go from another division to another division than with men, you know. And this was really like pretty much she wasn't that undersized, but it felt like an undersized female in the division against somebody else because Zhang Weili pretty much looked like like just a random.
She looks like a white belt in the ground. I mean,
She
well,
looked like the next name,
yeah,
just a name to Valentina's record, you know, which is crazy.
it is. Like again, Jack wasn't the takedown defense wasn't much better at all. But I felt like Jack fought a tougher fight. I would say a
Mhm.
little bit. Zhang just, dude, this was bad. This was bad.
You
Um,
know, you know,
she can't compete in this weight class. She's way too small for the division.
she needs to go back to
Yeah,
115. She destroys
and I
everybody
don't know if
there.
you saw the odds came out. She's minus 500 against Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah, of course. I'm not surprised.
I
You
think
know,
she'd beat Dern.
uh,
I think Dern's one of the I like Dern obviously like the rest of you guys, but she's one of the easiest champions to beat I think right now.
Also, what really annoyed me was the post-fight interview with Joe Rogan. Like, Joe Rogan, what was he talking about, man? You
He's
know?
like, there's no other contenders for you. Natalia Silva's sitting front row.
Yeah, but not just her. There are more.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
that pissed me off though, dude,
Yeah,
because she was there. It
yeah,
would have been if he actually watched the sport, he would have been like, "Hey, Natalia Silva's right there. What do you want to say to her?" Because
yeah,
she's clearly not. That's your girl.
yeah,
She's clearly next in line. I don't know if you saw the odds. I think Shevchenko is slightly favored.
yeah. She should be, I think.
I
Yeah.
think. I will double check. Let me double check.
Mm.
I would think, right? Like I would think she's the favorite, right? But Natalia is good. I just don't know how good her takedown defense is. I know against Jasmine it was good, but it was years ago, right? Like
Yeah. Plus, Valentina is a completely different
I know.
kind of fighter. You know, I mean, Natalia got some good wins over Grasso,
Yeah.
for example, but there is less of a
I,
takedown threat.
I have the odds. Minus 200 Shevchenko, plus 170 for Natalia Cristina da Silva.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those odds are okay. Those make sense in my
I'm looking
opinion.
at the comments, by the way. A lot of people were just saying Zhang didn't size up properly, and Ghost said that it reminded him of Jan versus Israel
I said
a
that
few
as
years
well.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree. I pretty much agree with that. Chinese broadcast partner sent Trent. Dude, that Asian interpreter that Zhang has, man, she's gorgeous, dude. I don't know who she is, but geez, what a smoke show, eh, Marcel? All the people, I don't know if you saw the interview online. All the people, all the simps in the comments, like me, they're all like, "Man, who is that? Give me your Instagram." Like everyone's asking for it. So good for Zhang, good for her. But yeah, I mean, I think for Shevchenko, I know she talked about Haley Harrison and some other fights last night, but like Natalia is clearly the next fight. Like that doesn't make. It's too bad they didn't bring her in the octagon because I think it would have made sense.
Mhm,
Because they brought her there and she looked beautiful too. By the way, I know
mhm.
you thought so.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
Obviously, by the way, GSP was there. She's right behind him. You had two goats in the picture. Mark. I know you like that. You had the Canadian goat
Ah,
and
man, GSP fucking legend, man. I mean,
yeah,
who doesn't love GSP? You know?
yeah. Oh, for sure. By the way, Antoine in the chat, he says Asian and black women are his top preferences. That's Marcel's favorites too. So there you go. All right, let's go to the next fight,
Don't forget
dude.
the Latinas.
I called it. I called it, bro. Michael
Yeah.
Morales. I called this one. And I told you this is a weird fight because Sean is great at grappling, but like this Morales guy is a fucking monster. Bro, he's
Mm.
so big. How does this guy make 170? Like he's huge. He
No
must be the
idea.
biggest welterweight in the UFC, right?
Dude, it looked like Sean was like two weight classes
I
below
know.
him, you know?
That
From
was
the,
that was a brutal,
but,
brutal
by,
knockout,
by
dude.
the way, I didn't hear anybody talk about an early stoppage. I think it was kind of early, but I think he would have absolutely destroyed him if it went 10 seconds longer.
No, last week I was talking about one and then obviously this happened. There
Mhm.
was a few on this card where the guy wasn't like knocked out, but like it looked like the fight was over. Yeah, I mean, it was a great knockout, dude. I mean, everyone's impressed with Morales. I've been for a while. I think he's like 7 or 8-0 now in the UFC. Another guy from contender that's really turned into a true contender in the UFC now. I think he's ready for a title shot, but if they want to give him one more fight, I'm okay with it too. Yeah, I mean, he's passed all the tests so far. He's just a beast. For Brady, it's too bad. But Brady's also like in his mid-30s now. Like this is a bad setback for him, I think, Marcel, because the Leon fight was like a huge win, and now like he loses like this. It's not good. It's not good. I wonder what they do with him next. Like maybe could they do a rematch with Bilal? Like I know that he wants that fight back. He's talked about that.
Yeah, but we don't need to see that.
I think Jack would be fun too. I think it'd be an interesting fight. Although because again, Brady, can you just take him down and hold him like Islam did? Maybe. Anyways, there's a lot of options from Morales. Drew says Islam would win. The odds are out for this fight too. I don't know if you saw Marcel. Odds for this one, Islam.
Yeah, I saw the odds. Yeah.
Let me pull it up. Morales. See what they are now. Some people probably bet on it. Minus 315 Islam,
Yeah.
plus 265 Morales. That seems right. And to be honest with you, people will probably bet on Islam, and I would think he would probably be like a 4-1 favorite in that fight. But I think Morales has a chance. I do. But again, the problem is he's really untested against the grappler. I know he fought Gilbert Burns, but again, and he fought Sean, but they never tested the grappler because he's got knocked out so fast.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So he's interesting though. I think this kid.
I think so too.
I like this with Lazy Bay. He said the biggest contingent of media there. They love him down there. He's like their new star. I think they've had guys that they've tried to promote as stars, like Chito Vera, other fighters from that area of the world. But this guy looks like the real deal.
I mean, that's all good, but don't take 15 minutes from my time if I want to go to sleep.
The press conference is a little bit longer. I would say that. Islam, we didn't talk about this, but I actually would put Islam ahead of Habib personally.
I was talking to Chris Connor earlier today from last call podcast, and he was asking me who is better, you think, Khabib or Islam? So I think if you go look pure grappling, I think Khabib is better. But if you look at complete or mixed martial
MMA
arts, I would
fighter,
say
yeah,
Islam. Yeah,
it has
for
to
sure.
be.
Yeah,
Because the thing is, I think people don't talk about his striking enough. I think he's a great striker, and I think he
yeah.
proved it last night.
Khabib didn't have the striking. He
No,
was more of a pure sambo wrestler,
yeah, I agree,
But he did great with what he did,
dude. I
So
mean, they're both two of the all-time greats. They're
yeah,
both
yeah,
like
yeah.
top 10 probably. Habib 13-0 in the UFC. Islam 17-1. So combined 30-1 those guys. If you just bet on those guys, except for the Adrian and Martinez fight, if you just kept parlaying all those guys, you have a huge house right. You'd have a castle, Marcel, with
You,
Natalia Silva in as a princess tiara at the top
you,
of it.
you know what's fun? What is fun? So actually, I picked Adriano Martinez in that Islam fight
You
beforehand
know what's
because I
funny?
was
I think I did too because it was so long ago, and I'm like, I'm not sold on this guy. They keep saying he's like the next big thing, but I don't know like much because I think DC and Gustafson was the main event for that card, right? I think.
no, I think that was a fight night card, and where all the underdogs won on the main card. I think it was the Mir Duffy card or Mir something.
Was
Maybe
it?
I'm wrong.
I thought that
Oh,
was on that. No, I think it was on that pay per view card in Houston. I'm gonna
you
check right
sure?
now. Yeah, I think so. I know the card you're talking about because there was a card. There was the Mir Duffy that had like there's like 14 upsets.
Hmm.
Okay, so that was the one before that. So I was right actually. You were wrong.
Okay.
Ha. So Bigfoot versus Mir was February 2015. He beat Adrian Martinez beat Rustam Habilov. Excuse me, he's not Brazilian, but there was like 10 upsets on that card. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then the next fight was UFC 192, Houston, Texas. Gustafson versus Cormier, and Islam won. Islam got knocked out, and he hasn't lost since then. So, and then Adrian Martinez since that fight, he's since he knocked out Islam, Adriano Martinez is 1-6-1 no contest. Can you believe that? And he actually just fought this year. Wow, he came back and he lost to Alexander Sarnovsky, Marcel, your guy.
Sarnovsky, Bellator, from
Wow,
Bellator.
that's crazy. I didn't know that. That's
Tiger.
really crazy. So, because I remember he fought my boy Cajun Johnson, Raging Cajun, and got brutally starched. So, Tally's going to knock out Valentina next. I mean, Marcel wants it. Marcel wants it, right? I know
I'd
you're
love
going to
to
pick
see
her
it.
because you're biased towards her because she's your wife. But
Yeah.
anyways, let's go to the next fight here. Yeah, again, like brutal knockout here. Probably a bit brutaler, I would say, if anything. I mean, gee, you know what? I'll say this: Leon won the first round, right?
Yeah,
He took
clearly.
his back, and it was like I was like, huh, okay, maybe Leon's. And no, you picked Leon. I was
Mhm.
like, man, Marcel's right, isn't he? He's going to be right about this one. Leon's going to win a decision with his grappling, and then he gets fucking destroyed, dude.
This was almost a typical Leon fight, and he put me to sleep. And then I don't know where he got sleeping, So and it was the first round. He looked pretty good, But in the second round, it felt like a typical Leon fight. Like he is doing okay, but not much is happening. And then out of nowhere, somebody's getting starched, And this time he got starched. Yeah, one good hit from Pradas. He was gone,
Yep, yep.
Great win for Pradas. Still, I have my question marks with Pradas, but man, guy is tough. Has knockout power, so yeah, he's an interesting guy.
He's really good, man. I mean, I've liked him for a while. Um, Islam was also funny in the because someone asked him, he's like, "How does this guy smoke all these cigarettes, man?" And like, he's so good. Like, I thought that was hilarious. Islam's like low key funny. I think
Yeah.
he's a funny dude, personally. Yeah, just man, Marcel just complete wipeout this fight.
Mhm.
In the second round. Like we've talked about him already. He's up there for a title shot for sure. For Leon, big setback, 3 straight losses now. I mean that again. There's fights out there like
I,
Masvidal. I still think makes sense,
I give
but
him Buckley.
Buckley's fun. It's a fine fight. So any of those fights make sense. All right, here 16-second knockout to open the card. Benoit sent a knee knocks out Beneil Dariush.
Yeah,
Beneil's done, dude. He shouldn't fight anymore. Do you agree?
I feel the same way, man. Unfortunately, is to say it. I feel the same way with Benil as I feel with Gerald Mershaw.
We're gonna talk about
It's
him in a
like,
few minutes too,
yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
it feels kind of the same. Although Benil
Yep.
probably still wins against a lot of guys, I still think, but it's
I
not going to
agree.
go up anymore. Probably, it's not
Yep.
going to go to a top 10 or something anymore.
Yep.
And man, this was I felt like he started not bad as far as you can start good in the first 10 seconds, and then out of nowhere he gets clocked and it's over, So yeah, good win for Benoit. And listen, I felt bad for Benil, but I'm happy for Benoit because a lot of people were down on him and doubting him. Remember after the Poirier and the Moicano fight, and then he has a good performance in front of his home country against Hoofy, and now we got a quick knockout. So good for him, man. Guy is back. fucking match him up with the Gambler, of match him up with Viziev, lots of opportunities, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that too.
I know kind of fun.
I like that Gaethje fight. I think that's a fun fight, dude. And also, they don't have this award, but comeback of the year, right? Like, because he was kind of left for dead last year, dude. And now he's won 3 straight fights by stoppage. It's very impressive, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Prepolek one. Yeah, true.
It's very. I mean, well, yeah. That, to be honest, actually was worst performance, I think, of the 3.
The funny thing is, like, Prepolek looked pretty decent against Doberman, So yeah.
Prepolek, yeah, he got the bonus too in his last fight. So, all right. Go back to the card. Yeah, head kick knockout from Bo Nickel, incredible. I mean, really just incredible. Dude, I think this was by far his best performance in the UFC. Like, before the knockout, I was like, man, he looks really good. I thought he looked great, dude. I really did.
He looked good, man. I think I said KO first round. That didn't happen, but was KO third round. I didn't expect my head kick, but...
Rodolfo, he looked like he's very slow and doesn't move very well.
Rodolfo looks like a typical older Brazilian guy, dude, who was amazing before, but...
Let's be honest. UFC wanted him to win this fight, obviously.
They gave him a grappler who they saw before that he gasses after one half round, and I don't think he gassed that hard this time. Yeah, but he was just outmatched pretty much in my opinion.
And he doesn't have really good striking at all. I would say. I thought Bo looked amazing though. I mean, he looked fast.
He looked good.
He looked accurate with his punches. His jab looked good. Just everything looked good. It was a great performance and a perfect style matchup for him. Excuse me. He gets the job done. So kudos to Bo for an incredible performance. He gets a knockout and a bonus. And like I said, Morales, Protez, BSD, and Nickel. I think they got them right. It would have been nice to give it one more bonus maybe for fight of the night, but it's all good. Let's go to the next fight here. Gregory Rodriguez defeats Roman Kopylov by decision. Decent fight. No finish. I thought someone was going to get knocked out or submitted. We called it submission. We were wrong. Again, he doesn't use his ground game, dude. He doesn't. And the funny thing is, in this fight, he actually was on his back because Giant Hooper was above him, which was funny.
Yeah, I'm hearing Trump wasn't attending to this event because Obama was there. Yeah.
But I like Greg Rodriguez. I know you're a big fan of the guy. He's a fun fighter to watch. I scored the fight 29. Not that the scorecards matter. He won the first 2 rounds. I actually thought Roman won the 3rd round. I don't know if you did. Any thoughts?
I had 30-26. So yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. I don't know. Like what did you have? What was your score?
Yeah, same as you. 29.
He rocked him in the 3rd round. The judges didn't give him credit because 2 of them went 30-27. But again, it's all good. I mean, he won the fight. For Kopylov, though, he's lost, I think, 3 of his last 4 fights now or something, right? So, like, what happened?
When Kopylov gets a step up in competition, he looks kind of bad all the time,
He's a fun guy to watch, but he's not elite. He's not top 15. He's like top 25, I would say.
He leveled up from the beginning. Remember, he got choked out by Carl Robertson. But he leveled up, but still, it's not good enough, And he looked hesitant against Paulo Costa, and he looked hesitant again today or yesterday. It's just, not good enough.
I wouldn't mind seeing him fight like CLD or even Tulio. That would be fun. Any strikers. Don't give him grapplers. Give him a striker. Dude, Rodriguez is huge. I mean, I don't know how he makes 185. He's massive. Maybe his chin will be better, too, at 205. Yeah, smash that like button. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it, brother. All right. Aaron Blanchfield gets a submission here. I mean, dude, it was sketch. First round. Bro. I was like, what the fuck is she doing? Why is she not wrestling? What is she doing? I know you were saying the same thing.
She also didn't wrestle in the 2nd round. Is that Tracy went for the takedown and she reversed her pretty much.
Yeah, she got lucky, dude.
Didn't you get like flashbacks from the JJ Aldrich fight? A
little bit because she was losing that fight too, and then she came back and won. But I don't know. I wouldn't say it was a great performance. But even though she got the finish, great finish. But overall, like, a little disappointing. I think.
I didn't understand it, man. I was like, you're better on the ground than Cortez, but maybe she had the back of her mind that fight from 6 years ago where Cortez could match her on the ground, and they were like very competitive. I was like, if you keep standing like this, you're gonna lose because Cortez is more power, and her striking is a little bit better. So, and then listen, call me hater, but I was happy to see Blanchfield win and Cortez not because I felt like, dude, this card was insane. The main card was sick. Yeah. And the most thing I saw whole week was Tracy Cortez.
I know. It makes you bothers you because you think it should be based on merit, not the looks, right? So
Plus, I'm not really.
I know. We know.
But you know what I mean. It's just
Tristan bet on Aaron as an underdog live. Yeah, I saw that. I thought about it too, but I'm like, I was too scared of that. I'm like, oh man, I don't know how this is going to go anymore. I thought her boxing looked pretty good in the first round. I agree.
Yeah.
Tracy's in the first round. She won the first round, but then she also got tired a bit too. I mean, at this point, dude, she's not really a contender, you know. But yeah, I mean, we saw in the Rose fight, like she got taken down a lot in that fight. Go
You
ahead.
saw that? You saw the picture that her fake eyelash was off again
Oh
when
god,
she got finished.
jeez. All right, let's go to the next fight here. I mean, upset of the night. Like we didn't talk about this fight last week because
No,
it didn't exist until
no.
Thursday, I think.
Yeah,
This kid took the fight on super short notice, flew across the country. He fought last week. I only saw that fight. It's my fault. I was a little lazy with the research. I will admit that. But I would have never picked this kid to win. You know,
you,
not
you,
against the guy who had a full camp. Go
you
ahead.
sound like Dana, this kid.
Dana was
uh,
impressed with Ewing. He said he liked him, and he said he gave him a bonus. He's gonna mail him extra money.
yeah,
So
he deserves it. I mean,
yeah,
dude looked fucking good. You know,
he looked really good.
he kept pressuring
Yeah,
Wellmaker. Good. How do you say that? Good combinations he landed.
sure.
I liked it a lot. You know, you don't see that often from guys taking a short note. And he fought last week for
Yeah,
A1 Combat
yeah,
or Uriah Faber's promotion. So
yeah.
won the title against Billy Brand. So good win.
Bro, it was
Amazing one.
impressive, very impressive, and I mean, he looked great in this fight. He like
Mhm.
outlanded Malcolm for most of the fight. Also, Malcolm, dude, very disappointing. Listen, I'll give him a little bit of a break because he got a
Me
new
too.
opponent on short notice, and he's a good guy. But terrible head movement. Like didn't move his head. You know, got clipped a lot in this fight. Has really no wrestling, and to be honest, kind of one dimensional. Man, I hate to say it, but he has that hook and not much else. Marcel, not much else. I think he threw a few kicks maybe too, but it wasn't much. I like the kid. This is a big bad loss for him in his career because he was
I
on
mean,
like stardom, you
you,
know,
you
not
know,
now.
you know what the funny thing is, man. So if he actually fought Cody Haddon and Cody Haddon beat him, that people would be like, yeah, this Cody Haddon guy, he's some next level kind of guy, you know.
Yep,
And
yep,
now he loses, and that would have been a bad loss for Wellmaker, you know. But now he loses to a guy who was like comes new in the UFC with barely any preparation, and he beats him.
yep.
That's just a bad loss, you know. Um, can he come back? For sure, he can come back, you know. But yeah, it's a bad loss, you know. Can't
Maybe
say
they'll
anything else.
rebook the fight with Cody once he heals up. But
Yeah,
I
possibly.
kind of feel like Malcolm will want to get back in there soon. I
Mhm.
think he's going to ask for a quick return. Although we don't have any fights booked. According to Dana, they have no fights booked. I don't believe them. I think they have fights booked and they're just hiding them.
For next year,
Yeah.
of course. We
Dude,
just
how
don't
could they?
know
They
that.
can't have people in short, like 1 week training camps, you
Of
know?
course, there are definitely fight books, but I'm
Yeah.
super surprised that nothing has leaked. Fighters are quiet, managers are
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah, I agree. I
It's
agree.
like the UFC hold them at gunpoint. You know what I mean? So,
For sure. All right, next fight here. I mean, I think he could have got a bonus too. Kyle Dawkins,
mm,
50-second finish over Gerald Burchard, who, I mean, Gerald has to retire. It's 4 straight losses, all by stop. I think 3 of them by stoppage. And his chin is gone, dude. His chin is gone. I'm actually happy Kyle didn't like brutally knock him out with ground and pound and just went for the Darce.
mhm.
The Darce Knight, of course, Kyle Dawkins.
Yeah,
Kyle's looked incredible since he came back. I'm gonna be honest. I completely wrote him off after Eric Andrews' fight, where he
mm,
like broke his face.
yeah,
Like
I
I
remember
was
that.
like, his career's over, and he's completely turned it around. And it's good to see. And I'll tell you, when him and his brother were both in UFC, I always thought Chris was the better fighter, but I was wrong. Kyle's the better fighter. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, um, yeah, I mean, Kyle looked good, you know, but how? I mean, it was a quick fight. He looked good in both fights he fought when he came back to the UFC. Let's hope he can go to a nice streak now, maybe, you know. And I don't know who he fights next, but somebody in the top 15 is a possibility, or
I,
just
yeah,
outside, maybe, you know.
I'm
What
good with either. Yeah,
Atman Shabazian, you know.
fun fight. You know, they both fought Gerald, obviously. And actually, that was Gerald's last win, which was last year against
Yeah,
Edmund, and since then he hasn't won. Yeah, it's too bad. Went out for pizza. What's up, man? I went out for pizza on Friday, which is 50 feet from Dawkins Forge and Major. I haven't seen it open yet. Okay, well, hopefully that opens soon.
mhm.
That's cool. All those guys are, you know, all those Philly, New Jersey guys. I mean, they had some success. There's a bunch on this card, Marcel, tons of them, including this guy, Pat Sabatini, another
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
And we got this one wrong. I thought this fight would be close. I was wrong. Pat dominated the fight, dude, with his grappling. Were you just a little surprised by how easy the takedowns and stuff were, like control?
I was, although
Yeah,
Shepard did more damage, but Pat clearly won the fight with
yeah,
the grappling, which was enough, and he did enough on top, you know. So
yeah.
yeah, good
I
win.
agree with you. Like that's the thing. That this is one of those weird fights where the guy who did more damage lost, but I agree
Mhm.
with it, you know, because the control and the grappling, it was effective, I think, and it was overwhelming.
Yeah,
and you have to give points for those positions he had,
I
but
agree.
didn't really do any damage. Didn't really go for subs. It wasn't like, you know, some like brutal like ground and pound display or submission, every other second. It wasn't like that, but it was enough that he clearly won the fight. So good for Pat. He gets the job
Mm.
done. Next fight here, pretty much a complete blowout. Although I think one of the judges had 20. Was it your boy Marcel Valera? He had 29-28.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah,
No, actually, he had 30-26, which I don't. What was the 10-8 in this fight?
yeah, I also didn't see that.
Eric Cologne at 29-28. I mean, it was just an easy fight to score. 30-27, Fatima Klein. Fatina's a good prospect. She's 25 years old. She's 3-1 now in the UFC, 3-0 at this weight class. She's a good prospect, man. I mean, I think eventually, Marcel, we might see her fight for the belt. I think it's possible.
It's definitely possible, man. I think the Blanchfield Klein camp had a fun night, you know.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
yeah, good. I mean, good win for Klein. What can I say? I mean, you fight a veteran for a real tough veteran, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, she was still ranked Angela Hill, you know. So I think she was 12 or 13. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Fatima will come into the rankings, which is good.
Yeah.
And I think Angela Hill, you know, she will remain in the UFC. The thing is, like, they can match her up with pretty much anyone. But I feel like the last couple of times she fought, she's not as gritty anymore as she was
Yeah.
before. You know?
She's hit the wall for sure. 40,
Yeah,
40 turning 41 soon.
makes sense, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you get up there in age. She's had like 30 something UFC fights, I think, at this
Mhm.
point. Like, it's a lot of damage taken too.
Yeah,
She has
she
like
came back.
she's like some of the most fight time in UFC history, Marcel. You know?
She came back, man, after she got cut,
Yep,
and then won the Invicta title against
yep,
Livia Souza, and then she came back.
yep. Good for her.
Mhm.
All right, next fight here: Bisanger Susarkayev defeats Arab Konko. But I mean, we were all in the chat saying this guy is not as good as advertised the first two rounds, and then he gets a nasty knockout in the third
Mhm.
round. And to be honest, I thought that Dana was going to slip him the 50K because Dana loves this guy, but
Yeah,
he didn't really deserve it, even though it was a nice knockout.
yeah.
Not a great performance overall, I think, though. What do you think?
I wasn't impressed, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing that bothers me with Surkayev is that he is smiling the whole damn time. Like, and I don't mind smiling, but he's like acting like you're not going to do anything to me. I'm not impressed, you know.
Yeah.
And he got clipped against Eric Nolan already, and this time Mechanical gave him a good fight, pretty much, you know. But yeah, he
Yep.
got a great. The knockout was great. The fight wasn't. Let's put it that way.
I agree with that. And then opening the card, Mateus Camillo defeats Slava Borsov by decision. I thought he won. It was close. I was a little surprised it was 30-27. I was a little surprised. But I mean, I thought he won. I thought he slightly edged it out. I thought he just barely edged it out. It really wasn't a great fight. What do you think, though?
Very forgettable fight. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to think about the fight now. I'm like,
and I was like, Camilo knows where, how do you say that, where Borchev's weak spot is. It's the grappling. Grapple more, man, you know?
yeah, yeah,
Don't give him the chance to land something on you. And I felt like Camilo after one round and like 3/4 of the second round, he was completely gassed, you know, and Borchev just didn't have enough to do any more excessive damage or whatever. But yeah, very forgettable fight, but good for Camilo. He got his first win in the UFC.
yeah. No, I agree completely with that. All right, and then finally we had, or that was it actually. So
Yeah.
overall 14 fights,
Oh,
and I went 11. I know, my bad. 11-3, 10-4. So good picks, I think, overall, right?
yeah,
I would
so
say.
there was actually another fight, man. You forgot about Dylan Danis against
We didn't talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and John Pork, my boy, Chonko. I would love to see Chonko knock that guy out. Yeah, it was stupid. And Dana said he's banned. I don't care about Dylan. I never liked the guy, to be honest.
So
Slava Claus work. Hey, what's up, Blake? He might be. It's up there, right? The bad takedown. I think he might have been injured too. He had those knee pads on too. Like, it always worries me when the guys have the knee sleeves, Marcel. Doesn't it worry you?
yeah,
Sean Brady did too. Actually, Sean Brady.
yeah,
He
but
didn't
at
really
least
shoot. Yeah.
both guys are not fighting real grapplers, to be honest, you know. But if you fight a fucking real grappler who goes for leg locks, you better not can use like how do you say this? Those ankle socks or those knee things, you know.
Yeah, I know.
More grip.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so that was it, and good card. 8 out of 10 for me. Do you agree? 8 out of 10.
7.5. I said yesterday.
Mr. Optimistic over here.
I
Mr.
always go a
Downer over
little.
here.
I always go a little bit lower than you, and I mean,
That's fair.
if it goes to grades for a card, don't get weird now.
That's
you know?
fair. It was a good card though, I think overall. All right. Yeah, it was a good card. We appreciate all you guys in the chat. We're gonna go and just jump right into the UFC Qatar preview. So, is there anything else you want to say about the card? Anything else I forgot to mention?
I'm thinking, no, I don't think so, man. It was overall a pretty fun card, I think, and it definitely lived up. It kind of lived up to the hype. Besides, the title fights were super one-sided, which kind of sucked. If those fights were great as well, might went with an 8.5 or a 9, But yeah, overall pretty
Fair
good
enough.
card.
By the way, I do want to mention this. Eternal MMA had a card. George Mangos had a crazy knockout. Did you see that knockout? It was really
I
nice.
haven't seen it, no.
It, I think Blake posted it in the Discord. It's a really nice knockout. And he might get. It's funny. He actually might get in the UFC before. What's it called? Radley De Silva. Just because Dana doesn't like. He doesn't. Let's be honest. Dana doesn't really like grapplers. He kind of made the point last night. I think if you finish guys, he likes you. But if you're just gonna hold them like Bradley did in that fight, or let's be honest, the main and co-main event was kind of the same thing. But again, they got the job done, and yeah, very impressive. From Antoine, he's going to message you. Different time zone. Fair enough. Look, so you took it to heart, man. Marcel made the guy
I
feel
was
bad.
just kidding.
Well, Zach's not here. Zach's watching the Philly Eagles game, which is starting right now. So, all right, let's get out of here. I'm going to start the next podcast up, guys, in just a minute here. We're going to preview UFC Qatar. So give me a minute. We'll preview.